Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video where I will be talking about porn addiction recovery. Today I'm going to be talking about understanding this problem in the correct way and where to really get started if you wish to stop watching porn and live a life feeling free, feeling clear, feeling focused, and just no longer really going in circles trying to figure out what the hell do I do, how do I stop watching porn, right? So yesterday on the YouTube channel, I was talking about this ear problem I had. It was feeling very blocked up. I was getting it was a little bit frustrating. I couldn't hear properly in one ear. I thought there was a lot of water in there, and I was doing all these different weird YouTube hacks and tips trying to solve it. I was going around in circles, nothing really helped. I'm jumping up and down. I'm sort of slamming my head on the pillow in my flat, doing all this weird, dumb stuff that I'd been told to do from YouTube shorts. I go and see my doctor, like a sensible person. They tell me, okay, we've had a look in your ear. It's completely filled up with earwax. Basically, your ear is fucked right now. What you need to do is go and pour a load of olive oil into your ear for, weeks, and hopefully it's gonna sort of melt and then clear out just naturally on its own. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's not the best idea in my opinion, because I'd already done some research online. I knew that microsuction was possible at first, actually, and this is gonna sound incredibly stupid. And my girlfriend was like, Tom, don't do that, and she actually sent it in capitals, like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, just over and over. But I did it anyway because I'm kind of stupid at times, to be honest with you, with certain things. So what I did actually at first, before I paid for the microsuction, is I got a pen. This is so stupid, don't do this. And it didn't work anyway. But yeah, what I did is I thought, well, microsuction, what it is basically like sucking something out of your ear, right? So I got a pen and I took out the ink and stuff. And I put it into my ear, not like all the way in. I didn't want to prod anything in my ear. I didn't want to make the situation worse or give myself ear infection or anything that stupid. But I put it in my ear just slightly, and I got the Hoover, and I was like hoovering, trying to hoover the earwax out of my ear with the pen, and then the Hoover kind of sucking air through the pen. And anyway, obviously it didn't work. It was kind of a dumb idea, but I really wanted to get the earwax out because I was in a lot of distress. I say distress, I wasn't in that much distress, it was just annoying, right? Anyway, day later, I book on, get the proper experts in, go to the expert, and because she's worked in microsuction, probably, or like earwax removal, whatever it is, she's worked in that field for literally decades. Like, it doesn't take her long to know what the problem is. Like, she's so freaking experienced. She knows what the problem is, she knows how to solve it. So what did she do? First of all, spends, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes maximum looking in the ear, diagnosing the problem. Okay, Tom, yes, your ear is kind of fucked. It's full of earwax right now. We can get this out. And then she spends the next 5 minutes sucking it out with a very specific tool, knew exactly what she was doing. Okay, 5 minutes later, I'm good. Ear's literally completely fine. She had a look in the second ear. She goes, you know what? That ear's actually fine. You've got no earwax in there. You're good to go. See you later. Here's an invoice. Well, she gave me, like, the card machine. She's like, are you okay to pay by card? £60. She's just spent 5 minutes looking in my ear. She's made 60 quid. I mean, fair play to her. But yeah, I mean, it's worth it though. Like, literally so freaking worth it. I mean, I would easily spend 60 quid to live without this ear being a problem for the next few weeks. And even if the olive oil worked, I mean, yeah, it's just not worth it to me. And I'm very lucky that I was able to, pay for that, but also that's my choice. I prioritize my mental health, my focus, my stability, feeling good, feeling healthy above anything else. I'm not going to spend money on drinking a load of alcohol, going to parties, I don't know, a lot of the modern sort of stuff, video games. Don't do any of that. I don't do drugs. Yeah, I just want to feel healthy, alive, vibrant, energetic, confident, and just have ears that work. Obviously, who would not want ears that work? So anyway, where am I going with all of this? I mean, I've gone on a bit of a tangent, haven't I? So my point today was, what we have is a lot of hacks, a lot of tips, a lot of supposed experts online telling us to do this, do that, and it all gets very overwhelming, confusing, And what we need to do, if you want to solve any problem, if you want to solve a porn addiction, what you need to do is start off by understanding the problem. Just as the woman this morning, she's looked in my ear, she's understood the problem, and she's gone and solved it. With porn addiction, what's going on is people are spouting complete nonsense on the internet all over everywhere now. Nonsense in books, and very few people, I mean, some people are, and I'm guessing if you're subscribed here, you get it now, like you understand what the real problem is. But I'm just going to repeat it anyway, because even with guys who I've worked with for a long time, sometimes it's almost like their mind goes back into the old neural pathways, where they think, okay, shit, how am I going to deal with, I had a client recently, it was like, oh yeah, it's been a tough week recently, family's been out of town. And it's like, what? Like, that's not the problem. Family being out of town's got nothing to do with the real problem. Like, when it comes to porn addiction recovery, there's one problem. There's literally one problem when you break it down. And that one problem is, how do you deal with urges? How do you deal with compulsive desires? How do you deal with the addictive part of the mind? These very specific thought patterns that I go, wanting you to relapse. All of that. That is just one problem now. Urges, it's all the same thing. Everything else, I don't know. Let's think about this. Everything else, like gym, meditation, journaling, having a social life, having family, friends, money, business, anything else when it comes to porn addiction recovery, family being out of town, feeling lonely, whatever, feeling stressed, all of these things, they're just things like the addictive part of the mind, which has one job, which is to get you to relapse. They're just things that the addictive part of the mind is going to try use against you to get you to relapse via compulsive desire. It's just like a form of compulsive desire. It's a form of having an urge. That's all it is. But when you really break it down, if you can deal with literally any urge, any compulsive desire, you're good. Because how could you not be good? How could you not be free from porn if you know exactly, specifically, how to respond to all compulsive desire at any moment? That's all you need. So if anyone on the internet tries to tell you to do all this other random shit, because I see these coaches online now all the time talking about, going to the gym, meditation, you got to have all these goals in place, you got to do all this different random weird stuff. Like, that's not the problem. And all it's doing is creating more and more confusion. And that's why people are going around in circles, because they're building some habit tracking sort of super diet plan, journaling nonsense for a few weeks. That doesn't work. Then they go on to meditation for a few days or weeks or months. I used to do meditation for 1 hour every day for like 6 months, trying to overcome porn addiction. And then, I got to like 6 months of it, or no, it was actually 5 months, because I remember it was like one of the longest streaks I'd ever done before Mary Paulus. It was 153 days back in the NoFap era, when I used to do NoFap, right? I remember getting to 153 days, sort of meditating and doing that kind of shit. And then I relapsed, I remember doing an hour's meditation and then having urges throughout the whole hour. I had no idea how to deal with the addictive part of the mind or the actual urges. I was just meditating, feeling all this discomfort like every day. And then I relapsed anyway, like right back in an addiction. So all these different hacks, tips, strategies, they're not really going to help you. What you need is to start off by understanding the problem, which is that you're going to have compulsive desires, you're going to have these urges. How do you respond to them? That's all it is. That's the problem you need to understand. And if you keep on taking in information, it may be unuseful. What I would recommend to anyone watching this, if you want to overcome porn addiction for good, focus 100% of your energy on how do I deal with urges. If you solve that, you're not going to worry about everything else. I had a comment on a YouTube video yesterday, and it was something along the lines of, should I use blockers or not? Again, it's an unanswerable question. It's not useful. If you knew exactly how to deal with urges at all times, you're not going to be questioning, do I need blockers or not? It's just not a question that you're going to need to have, because you're going to know how to deal with urges. And so therefore, whether you have blockers or not, it's just irrelevant, because you're going to know exactly what to do Every time you have an urge, you're going to rewire the brain. Every time you have an urge, over time, that repetition is going to result in you changing your neural pathways, finally getting free from this problem, and then you're just good to go live your life and hopefully really, really enjoy it. See you later, man. Bye-bye.